Guys, welcome back to Marvel Contest of Champions. Today's video is following on from the comments section, which I asked you and you very kindly responded with most wanted champions that you want to see in the game. I thought it would be quite important because people got a little bit funny about the fact that Howard the Duck potentially will be coming to the game in the future months. So it was important to kind of address the characters you want, and you didn't disappoint. So in a series of videos, including this one and another two, I'll be doing most wanted. This time, you guys are saying it. So let's start off with 3 characters today that you guys want to see. So to start off with, this is Man-Thing. Man-Thing has this kind of like World of Warcraft type vibe to it. Why do I say that? Well, it's based on when I was playing World of Warcraft back in the day, a long time ago. There used to be creatures like this in the kind of swampish areas. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. Some of you may do, some of you may not. The other thing is the character looks very much like Groot, in that it's very kind of plant-based, or, well, I'd say Groot's tree-based, and this character is more kind of plant-based. But it's this kind of use of foliage and kind of faunage and stuff like that that makes this character very interesting, especially very interesting to look at. Obviously, we talked about Howard the Duck, and is some kind of like ties in with the Howard the Duck. You can see here with like we've got She-Hulk here, Man-Thing's right at the back. But regards to kind of an appearance, if they were to put the character in the game, I think they would go for more of the kind of plant-based style that we saw just a moment ago. So to give a little bit of a backstory on the origins, allegedly before Earth was formed, the creator, being from before time, spawned the fallen stars, each an embodiment of one of its thoughts. On Earth, the creator made a woman, Sieto. Representing the nature of reality, Sieto spawned Adam Kadmon, the first man of lineage, and their birth site became the nexus of reality. Descendants of Kadmon served as Nexus guardians, but over time the man of the lineage became less concerned with the mission until eventually one man abandoned it completely, Ted Sallis. And Dr. Ted Sallis was a biochemistry professor at the Empire State University. The sheltered Sallis had no knowledge of his destiny and preferred books to people. The United States Army recruited him into the Project Sulphur. So he developed the serum SO2, which granted immunity to all known toxic biochemicals, but its mutagenic effects would have transformed people into monsters. Obviously, we can see where we're going here, the kind of Bruce Banner type thing, and I guess that's why this character isn't more kind of, you know, well known, is based on the fact that people will go, well, isn't it a bit similar to the Hulk? I like the fact that it's already mentioned stuff with regards to a biochemical, so toxic biochemical. So you'd say like this character would have poison immunity. Very interesting stories, and the way the character ties into different things, like the sorcerer Baron Mordo returned him to the swamp, restored Sal's mind, and used him as a pawn against Doctor Strange. See, there's really cool tie-ins. Like, it's kind of like cool because we're talking about Howard the Duck. But it's like he works with Howard the Duck. We've got a link to Doctor Strange and Baron Mordo. There's no telling what we could do and what Kabam could do within the game in order to tie these in. It would be really interesting and fun. I know it's a bit obscure than normal, but it's still nice to think that we can tie stuff into some sort of story arc. So on the power grid, and this is like, there's no way to kind of judge this against what's going on with the game. Obviously, we've got durability as being 7, of the energy projection low, strength is low. Kind of similar in some respects to what we get with Groot. I think it may be another kind of Grootish character. And the strength level, apply a lift of at least 2,000 pounds, but has fought foes as powerful as the Hulk. So at times, strength may be able to increase past this. So I think they'll just go for something new if the character was to go in. This character is quite under the radar, so I don't think that he will be covered. You won't see him anytime soon, unless there's something that they're going to do with She-Hulk, Howard the Duck, and Man-Thing. So do look out for that. It may not even be like in the next couple of years. Our next most wanted champion is Hyperion. Hyperion, or Mark Milton, is from Earth 712. There is another version of this character of Hyperion, which I believe is called Marcus Milton. Just a change of name as one does. The super being that would become known as Hyperion is a native of Earth 712, who was the last surviving member of the race of Eternals. These are kind of immortal beings. That it's in order to explain this story, it just goes in such a kind of a tangent. All you need to know is they were aliens. They came down to Earth. They grabbed ape-like creatures like Homo sapiens, and then Homo erectus. I can't, one of the two, and then they managed to make them immortal. Blah 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 blah. Set up a city and live practically undetected for a long time. And then stuff happens, and for whatever reason, he is the last one available to be the greatest champion that's there. That's kind of, in a nutshell, that is the backstory. What to say about Hyperion? Let's have a look, first of all, at the appearance. Great looking character. This is more of a kind of a classic look here going forward. We've got this kind of like Greek type vibe to it, which again, quite cool. However, of the previous appearance, I think that if Kabam were going to go for anything, they would go for more of a modern story. So it would be a case that this version of Marcus Milton would be the chosen one, based on the way that the character looks and acts, which is a very kind of modern style. It's got this very kind of cool kind of atom type thing to it, which is which you can see there, like the kind of atom symbol. And gives the character more of a kind of a modern feel, so it takes it away from that kind of ancient Greece looking appearance. And this is the one that is Earth 13034. There's some very interesting stories in Hyperion's past. I really think this is one, I mean, this is really cruel. It's like this, he joined the Squadron Supreme and was to punish Namor for destroying Dr. Spectrum's world and cooperating with Cabal, as well as numerous attacks upon the surface world. During the attack, Hyperion yanked the city of Atlantis from the ocean, lifted it high into the air, and hurled it down, and utterly destroying it. Hyperion then decapitated Namor with his atomic vision. So it's like, this guy is pretty intense, and it would be a nice, and just to like point out, this is what Namor looks like, and obviously there's a link here to X-Men as well as the Atlantic world. So I think that's really kind of brutal to him, but that's pretty cool. I like that. I think there's some sort of detrimental effect, which, you know, could be something like atomic burn, or something that kind of shows like a radiation burn or something like that. I think this would be a new kind of thing to kind of add, and this character can produce that with obviously the atomic abilities that the character has. So as well as being able to fly, so we could see like a levitation, high durability, and everything's high for him. Strength, speed is quite high. His energy projection's good. The internal physiology, Hyperion's unique physiology is common among the internals. His body collects cosmic radiation and operates in a process similar to nuclear fusion, specifically possessing and gaining nourishment from solar photon particles. As a result, he possesses various superhuman attributes. So this is kind of an argument that you could get between this character and, say, the Hulk, because he was kind of blasted with radiation. This guy's atomic, and put in, say, Dark Phoenix into that, then would you have a new set of, like I said, detrimental effects, like an atomic burn, a radiation burn, things that I'd say Kabam haven't thought about to kind of put in with the characters. It may be a nice little addition. Apart from that, strength, very high strength. Superhuman speed, he's very speedy. Flight, superhuman stamina, durability, agility, enhanced vision, hearing. You know, all this stuff is like... So basically the character has a lot going for him. And appearance-wise, I think that it would be a more of a kind of a modern look. We'd be looking at something similar to this, you know, a really kind of like good looking character that is probably going to kick some ass and do a lot of atomic damage, if you know what I mean. Something that's close to a nuclear weapon. But would the character be a high power character that would be more of a boss level? Maybe. But only time will tell if we get this character or not. Now the last one I want to talk about is one that you guys have been saying that you want so much, and I hope that they tie this into a film coming forth. It's Richard Rider, it's Nova, from Earth 616, this version I've gone for. So Richard Rider was born in Hempstead, New York. As a teenager, he was chosen at random by the alien Romande, last surviving Centurion of the planet Xander's elite Nova Corps. Obviously, you're not familiar with Nova Corp, then if you watch the film Guardians of the Galaxy, you'll get a bit of an idea. That's one thing I think that would be a good standalone film, Nova Corp, just kind of like maybe documenting and following things that they kind of like got up to, missions, things like that, the defense of Xandar. Just imagine that, like everything's in ruin from Xandar from the first film, the Guardians of the Galaxy, and you know how they're rebuilding, new forces that are coming to get them, what's their next steps, and implementing Nova as being a person. So Marvel film, get that on, get Nova as a film on Nova Corps. So the character gets great strength, invulnerability, the power to fly, and uniform with a sealed life support system, but little instruction on how to use the new powers. So are we talking tech here? Because to kind of cover the last two, you know, Marcus Milton would have been a cosmic. Theodore Callis probably science, based on the fact of the thing. So we're going science. We've gone cosmic. This one, argument between a tech. I'm pretty certain this is going to be a tech. With regards to appearance, I'd probably say it's going to be something similar to this. It's more of kind of a modern take, and like I said, Kabam like this kind of like modern aspect, which is nice. I don't think we'll have any of the shoulder pads that go into the chest plates. I think the chest plates will probably be altered as well, and we'd be in keeping with the same theme as having this as a blue rather than a dark greyish blue, but something kind of like in a midway point between that and that. A real decent character if they were to put it into the game. With regard to power and abilities and also signature abilities, let's start with the fact that the character is well stocked when it comes to a decent amount of power and everything. Amazing strength, amazing speed, amazing durability, and amazing intelligence. So we've got something called Nova Force, where he can tap into these kind of very kind of special and unique powers, and do, in like they say, do the same things, if not better, as the Silver Surfer. With regards to his strength, man, he can do anything. It's not kind of like anything out there that can beat him. He's one of the best characters that could be out there. Maybe too strong for an end boss, but or maybe as an end boss for anything. And with Marvel Contest of Champions, but I would probably say it'd be more kind of fun as a playable character from our perspective as players. Apart from having great speed, great stamina, great durability, he also has regenerative healing factor. So I'm not sure if that will be something where, you know, you can see him getting regeneration, or you can get him loads of buffs. So he could be like Scarlet Witch, just pinging off them buffs left, right, and center. Always going to be someone that is going to be a debuff character or a buff stealer. More than likely, it will be someone that will be able to generate those own buffs. Flight, so you'll be seeing levitating, which is great. Energy generation, so Ryder can channel the Nova Force and expel the energy in the form of extreme powerful concussive blasts. Similar, I'd say, to Iron Man, but with regards to the beams that come out, they do something with regards to being concussive, similar to, say, Gambit. When it comes to this, and this may be the signature ability, World Mind. It's kind of like a hyper intelligence that the character has, and I suppose in some ways the character could then be more calculated. For example, signature ability could kick in that if a character has got a massive amount of armor, and then it decides to put an armor break onto the character on its next hit, things where it kind of Nova could adapt to situations that he's in. If Mordo is doing a power gain, then his next thing is to then steal power from him, kind of a tap into, you know, steal that power away from him. Power steal, yes, you know, it's these kind of like things that would be not so easy to implement from Kabam's perspective, and hopefully they take their time and they do actually do this. So let's be ever hopeful that this could be a character in the future. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video on Hyperion, on Nova, and on Man-Thing. So to give some kind of like final summarize for this, Hyperion, cosmic, more than likely. We've got Nova, and he's either going to be a tech or a cosmic. Hard to throw that, not sure. And Man-Thing, more than likely, is going to be a science. These characters are great and interesting and very unusual. And I think that's one thing that's nice about the fact that this is element of chance. If we're going to get characters like Howard the Duck potentially in the game, and also random characters, or maybe characters that tie into movies and have these really kind of interesting stories that Kabam are creating for events, then that's great. And hopefully long may it continue for the next 5 years. And hopefully you're watching this back in 2020 and going, oh, this was very interesting, Rich. Yes, these characters then came into the game. But if they do come into the game, then obviously we can talk about the implementation from the point of this video and what we saw. Anyway, if there's any other characters that you want to be talked about, then put them down in the comments below, and we'll do that in another Most Wanted. Have a look out for more Most Wanted videos, as well as Marvel Contest of Champions content on my channel. Subscribe to get that. And as always, please subscribe, like, and I shall catch you on the flip side. Bye bye.